getting down to the meat and potatoes of this, your first tutorial here, is you'll notice that the students get to choose their first adventure. Okay, so they can click on their adventure and it brings them to a place where they can have a choice to complete one or all adventures, okay? So you'll notice that they can only access this web page. They can't navigate through because the navigation is taken off. So they can only go in areas that I want them to be, which is essentially home, go back to home base, and then pick their next adventure. Now, all these other tools I have in the presentation are tools that you can enhance learning, like Symbaloo Learning Path and, using BrainPop and Kahoot. Right now, we're just worried about building a site like this. So we're going to go home just to show you those navigation. So how did I build a site like this? And that's really simple. So going behind the scenes here, the first thing I did, besides create the home page, and I spend a lot of time, I'm a former art teacher, on the design elements of this, but I created all the pages that you see here. And what I did, just to give you an example, so say I want to create a help center. Okay, I go in, create a help center. Now I could change this content. If you want to use your own banner, like I did here, you can delete that. And you could change the banner type. By default, you'll notice that Google Sites puts it so readability, but if you've made your own banner and you want that to stand out, you just click that little button off here, so the adjust to readability button. And you could change the header type size and all that jazz. We're going to focus on a couple elements here. First of all, if you go to insert, there's a lot of pre-made templates that I was like, oh, this is very much choose your own adventure. So you can quickly link that, using pictures, like in my exemplar here. Just going back, and we'll do community leader. Okay, so here's how I used one of the templates where students can pick one out of 4. They could do all 4 to earn maximum experience points. So that's an exemplar here. So all I did was use one of these templates that are already made. So you see, you really want to get crazy with choice, you can just insert another template below, and it keeps it all the same. All right, so enough about that. Let me show you what the important thing is, that in here, the Help Center and the menu to the right, you can hide from navigation. Now, because it's hidden from navigation, doesn't mean that you can't get to it. Okay, so I need to make a link to the Help Center. So if I go to my home page and I go down maybe to the bottom, so say I were to create, and actually it's not a bad idea, no, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to look, who doesn't need a help button in their life? Let's be real with one another. So I'm going to look for a help button on Google. Here we go. Awesome, help button. I will insert that. Okay, I'm going to move it to the middle. If I click on this help button, you'll see a link that pops up, and very much like a PowerPoint, I'm interchanging the two words, Google Slide Deck, you can go in and link to that page and click apply. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. The other thing you want to keep in mind is that when you're building this, regardless of how you build this, navigation is going to be very important. Yes, the students can click up here. That sometimes doesn't always scream out loud. So having like a home button where you go in and go to images, select, let's see if I could find a quick home button. There we go. Perfect. We're not going to get too picky here, right? I mean, usually I would spend 45 minutes picking out the correct home button or designing one, but for the sake of this tutorial, you'll get my gist. So now we need to link this back to home. So now all that is inserting and going to home, clicking apply. So let's publish this. I'll talk about publish and settings in another tutorial, so you can keep this really close to your class so it's not out for the public to see. So let me go back here. refresh the page, refresh the site, go to this online superhero. Okay, so you'll notice no pages are showing up in my navigation, but yet we have that help button, which will lead us to this page. Maybe there's our help topics. And then if the student wants to go home, they click on the home. Okay, so that is how we set up one scenario of your Google Slides for a online learning adventure.